Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Unfound Podcast channel on YouTube. As the title says, this will be a supplemental to the episode, The Disappearance of Chance Englebert. Before I get started, I want to remind all of you to give this video a thumbs up. And if you are not yet a subscriber to the Unfound Podcast channel right here on YouTube, please do so. And please hit that little bell button so that when we upload videos such as this one, you will be alerted immediately. Before I get into this video, I want to remind everyone that when I do these videos, I am doing them for everyone. I realize that there are going to be people watching this who have found the two videos of Chance walking that evening that he disappeared. But I also realize there are going to be people who watch this video who haven't. And so I have to gear this toward the people who may have the least amount of information. And so some of you who have seen the videos already may find some of this to be repetitive. However, I just want you to be a little bit understanding in this respect. So these videos are all geared toward people who may not have access to finding certain videos online or maps, things like that. That's what's always on my mind when I'm doing these videos. So allow me to start here. And this is probably going to be, I don't know how long it's going to be, but it's probably going to be a long video because I have a lot to show. And one of the reasons is that maps and directions, streets and intersections are hard to explain in an audio program. So I have to try to make up for that when I do these supplemental videos. As you know, I only do supplemental videos when absolutely necessary. And this is certainly one of those situations. In fact, I would say this is probably going to be one of the most complete maps that I've done maybe since the disappearance of Travis Murrow. If you haven't seen that one, I would go back and find it. So what you're looking at here is Gering, Nebraska. And that red dot right down here at the bottom of the screen is where this disappearance starts. This is where Bailey's grandparents lived or still do live. I don't know. But this is where Chance walked away. And the approximate time of that, probably as late as 7:15 p.m. on that Saturday, July 6th. And the next time that he is seen that is provable is, I'm going to scroll up, is that it seems that he walked down 10th Street, which is this street going right here. Here is 7th Street. This is 10th Street going north and south. The next time he is seen is right here. Right where that little gray spot just popped up in the middle of the screen there. I hope you can see that right there. That is, well, no, I'm going to move it up just a little bit. Actually, it's right there. Okay. That is the intersection of 10th Street and Martha Street. And there is a video camera. Allow me to zoom in. Get the labels. Hate labels, Google Maps. If you could do something about the labels, I'd really appreciate it. This is that intersection right here. He is seen on video. And what you see in the video, once again, for all of you who haven't seen it, for those of you who have, bear with me. He is walking what we would call in a north direction on 10th Street. And he just about stops. And the camera is over here somewhere, pointed that direction. You see him walk up, and he stops essentially in the middle of the intersection. I would not say in the necessarily 50-50 in the middle, but let's just put it this way. If a car would have been coming, it would have hit him. He stops right there. Let me even zoom this in more so you get a real good feel for this. He stops essentially where the cursor is. He stops, is looking at his phone, and abruptly turns to be to his left, going toward the west, and he starts walking this direction. My belief is that this video camera is in this building right over here, pointed this direction. And he stops right, once again, he doesn't stop here at the sidewalk, doesn't stop over here, stops right in the middle of the intersection at 7:51 p.m., so approximately 35 minutes after he left the house, which is about how long it would take to walk that amount of distance, and abruptly turns right going this direction. I would not say that he's walking fast. I would not say that he's walking slow. What I would say, though, is that it appears to me when he does turn, he stumbles a little bit, which could lead me to believe that he might have been more drunk than was discussed in the episode. If you've watched the video, you can see it for yourself. But when he is turning to the left, it does seem like he loses his footing very slightly. And then he starts walking this direction to the left, and everybody believes that it is Chance. This is not a situation like Tom Brown's vehicle where everybody's saying, yeah, it's his, but the video, all red SUVs in the videos all look the same. But everybody, police, Chance's family, everybody who's looked at it believes that that is Chance, and that's what he was wearing that day. A white shirt, a white hat with brown or dark colored pants. So the next time he is seen is over here. So we're going to now move over this way. I'm going to show you the next place that he is seen. He is seen at this intersection right here. This is Terry Road. Let me turn the labels back on just about when I start complaining about them. You can see this is Terry Boulevard, as you can see here, and Stable Club Road. Now, and he is walking this direction. What I would call in a west direction. I think that there was a camera on this house pointed this direction, and people believe that this is him walking this direction. Now, what's maybe a little hard to understand about that is that according to Google, the walk from where he was, come on, work with me, Google. The walk from where he was right here to over here should have only taken 10 minutes. That's what Google says. Unfortunately, the cameras say 7:51, 8:11 over here, so it took 20 minutes. I don't know how to explain that. Could it be that this camera's time is off a little bit? This camera's time is off a little bit? Absolutely. You know, it's not like they're synced up or anything. And we know some people don't know how to even set the times on even devices in the 21st century. I go back to the 1980s and VCR clocks. But that maybe might account for a little bit. But it does seem as he stopped in here somewhere. To do what? I don't know. Maybe go to the bathroom. Maybe he was talking to Bailey and stopped to talk to her on the phone at some point. We don't know. But a walk that should have taken 10 minutes took over that time closer to 20 minutes. The person seen in the video over here is believed to be Chance, wearing the same clothes, walking kind of with the same gait as the person over here. So it is believed that that is Chance. Now, and after that, that is the last video of Chance right there, him headed this direction. Now, there's some things that are hard to understand about that, given the discussion with his mother, Dawn. What is clear to me is that when he is walking, going back to this first intersection over here, to describe it to people once again who haven't seen it, is that it is clear to me that the reason that he changes directions, stops right there and makes a left, he was looking at his phone at the time. It kind of proves to me that he was following some type of directions on his phone. Somewhat clear to me. If you've seen the video, you know what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, those for people, you'll just have to go by what I'm saying. But I think that is the only reason that somebody would stop in the middle of an intersection and make a left unless they thought, hey, wait a minute, I'm almost going the wrong direction. That's what makes sense to me. I think we've all done that. So that I think is an important part. It's not just that he changed directions, but what he was doing when he changed those directions. And that was looking at his phone. It's as plain as day in the video, although he is kind of far away. The hard thing to understand about that, and just to mark this area right there and do a little directions, is if he was headed to the truck stop, just to show you this. Let's move this down to where he actually was. You can see that the directions do not, the most efficient way is to not turn left there. Yes, you can go that direction. It's about the same time and distance, at least this time of the day on June 10th, 2021. But Google is saying the best choice for a person walking, and if he was trying to get to the truck stop, would have been to continue to go straight, not make a left there. I think that you have to remember that. Now, very well, maybe, if he was using some sort of app, it makes sense that it was Google Maps. That's what most people use. I think even if you were to use the Waze app, which is what I have on my phone, and I've had it for several years, so it makes sense that maybe Chance had it on his. Maybe it did tell him to make a left and go out, but I've tried it, and this is what always pops up. Him going straight and over there, not making a left, even though, according to Google, they're both about the same. So yeah, I think you have to think about that. Now, there's something else. I mentioned it in the interview, and this is where, I don't want to do too much speculation here, but I have to show it to all of you because I think it's important. You're going to have your own theories. I'm not trying to tell you what to think with these in the episodes or on these videos, but I think it's something very important. But so this is the truck stop theory that he was going up here. It does seem more likely that he could have kept going straight, but it seems in him looking at his phone that he made an abrupt left. Figure that into your calculations. Well, here's the next part, and this is something that I gotta say, I was shocked. I do a lot of maps for these. I do maps as much as any true crime podcaster out there. But this is where he was last seen. I'm going to mark it. There, right in the middle of the screen, right there. That is the last point he was seen. Somebody's doorbell camera right here, and he was walking in this direction. What we also have to remember is that his phone last pinged near the Riverview golf course. And now it doesn't want to come up. Riverview, that's what it was called. Work with me here, Google. I just pulled it up 2 seconds ago. It's not New Mexico. Gearing. There we go. No, that's not it. Oh my, this is exasperating. It would automatically pop up before. Now it's not popping up. Oh my. Let's try to find, there we go. Riverview. Oh, it's 2 words. Who would have thunk it? There we go. Okay, that is the direction. Let me zoom in here, make sure we have the right. So right there. So what we have here down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen is where he was last seen, right here. Those orange dots mean that that is a walking path. So you can see going generally in a northwest direction. And way up here where the little red dot is on the top of your screen, my screen too, is the Riverview Golf Course. His phone seemingly, allegedly pinged in the area of that. Now you're looking at this and saying, okay, well that seems simple. It makes sense that, if he was walking, he's walking in this direction. He did really follow this path right up and something happened there. It very well may be that he got picked up by somebody. It very well may be that something happened to him. I'm not trying to tell you what to think. But what does catch my eye, and I still can't believe it, and I even went to Google Earth Pro to back this up, is that you will see that this footpath goes along the Platte River right here. You can see Platte River come, North Platte River right down through there. And this is called Owl Road, this path. It's a road. It's a dirt road. It's not an official road. It's not paved. I would call it like a one-lane dirt road. I don't think anybody lives on it. I'm guessing it's used for campers, maybe park rangers. Maybe if there's a forest fire in this area, they might use that. But I don't think anybody lives on this road. But this is what Google says. If you're trying to walk from where Chance was last seen to the area of the golf course, this is the most efficient way to go. You can see that there are other paths, although they do take longer or are longer in time, and they are longer in distance. 4 miles, 4 miles. This is only 3.5 miles. Hour and 9 minutes, hour and 18 minutes, hour and 19 minutes. So it seems that if Chance wanted to walk in this general area and he was using his phone, as it seems he was doing in the first video, in the first surveillance video, where he's seen. This is most likely the path that he would have been given. I think that is reasonable. We don't know that for sure, but it is certainly reasonable. Well, I'm going to zoom in on this, and you're not going to believe it. We're looking at this path going right along the North Platte River. Nice, nice, nice. We get up to where it crosses the North Platte River right there. Nothing weird about that. Nothing weird, does it seem? It's a river. There's a bridge over it. You can walk across it. No big deal. Wait a minute. There is no bridge across it. This is why I said this is kind of like, in the episode, I said it kind of like the movie Speed, where police find out, hey, that highway that was finished, nope, there's a gap in it. So what I'm saying is Google tells you this is the way to walk from way over here to over here, except for the fact that there's no bridge there we're supposed to cross. I've gone back and checked it. Google, I've decent eyesight. You can check it for yourself, but I think it's pretty clear to see that you can see the white water. There's no pavement getting in our way of our view of this. Although there seems to be a shadowed kind of shaded path there. There's no bridge there. You can see water unless, what is it, glass? I don't probably think so. There's no bridge there. And if you're wondering how far that span is, let me center it for you. That's 125 feet. I couldn't believe it. There's no bridge there telling people where to cross. Even though it says that's where you cross if you're hiking and walking, I don't know how you get across the river when there's no bridge unless you want to get your feet wet. Which seems like a choice that not many people would make. So there's that. I was stunned. that is surely the first time I've ever seen that in any videos I've done where it's telling people to walk or drive a certain direction and there's no road or no bridge. The other part that I think is important about this, if we once again go back to the bottom right-hand corner where he was last seen, the second video, and mark it, and then do directions to the exact area of where this crossover is supposed to be. And I want to make sure that I get this right. I want to make sure, because sometimes, I mark it and then for some reason it moves. I want to move it up here to where it is. Google says that it takes 41 minutes. You can see it right there. 2.1 miles walking on Owl Road from where he was last seen on this doorbell video to that spot where the path is supposed to cross the North Platte River. He was seen here at 8:11, if we're to believe the clock on that video, 8:11 p.m. We know that his phone last pinged in this area up here at 9:08. Well, what can we deduce from that? 8:11 plus 41 minutes puts us at where? 10 to 9? We also have to figure in, it does seem that he might have been walking at a slower pace than your average human, being that it took 20 minutes for him to walk a distance that should have only taken 10 minutes. I think we also have to figure in that there was a storm rolling in. I've posted that picture of how the storm changed using weatherunderground.com for Gearing, Nebraska that day. And if you're wondering the distance from this spot to the golf course, it's about 2/3 of a mile. I shouldn't say that. About 4,400 feet, which is about 3/4 of a mile, 80% of a mile, something like that. Surely a distance that a cell phone could connect to a tower, especially out here outside of town. As I've stated many times before, for all of us who are urban dwellers, we're never, 3/4 of a mile or something from a cell phone tower. We get the idea that cell phone towers are working, our phones can only broadcast in very short distances. That's not true. They actually can broadcast for very long distances, and towers have the power to pick that up. You find that out when you go like on United States highways that, your phone could be on the same tower for many miles before it switches to another one. So it's certainly possible that the tower that's over here was picking up his message over here. And it's not, I admit, it's not totally congruent. It does seem to me that he would get here earlier than his phone last pinging. It seems. But we already know that he was walking slower down here in this part. So it makes sense that he might have been walking slower in this area too, especially if he might have been drunker than we thought. If he was texting somebody at the same time or talking to somebody during this walk, which we know that he was, maybe he stopped to text and then started walking again. But I guess what I'm saying is there's no proof that he went into the river. There's no proof that he walked off and started a new life. There's no proof that somebody picked him up and harmed him. There's no proof of any of it. All we have are theories. But I can't deny the fact that Google tells me that this is the proper way to walk if you're walking northwest out of Gearing. His phone last pings in this area, and on this path that's supposed to be solid from this point to that point, that right in the middle of this where they're supposed to cross this river, there's no bridge. I can't ignore that. I have to tell you about that. I'm not trying to get you to think the way I want. I don't know what to think. But I think I do have a responsibility of telling you all that if I discover something like that. So, could he have tried to cross the river? The storm's coming, felt desperate, ticked off. You know, he's following this route and gets to this river and is like, hey, there's no bridge here, and decided to go across. I think it's certainly possible. I don't know how probable it is, and I don't know how rational it is. But on the other hand, I don't think it was very rational for him to decide, yeah, I'm going to walk back to Wyoming. That's 40 miles away and is going to take 30 hours. That's not rational either, but he did it. That's what he was saying. That was his intention. Of course, he tried to get somebody to pick him up, and that didn't work. So I think you need to factor this into all of your calculations. And I just wanted you to see this, like I said, fairly complex. You may have to watch this video a few times to understand maybe what I'm showing. But that is the map supplemental for the disappearance of Chance Englebert. And I think you can understand why we didn't get into the deep details of this, because even doing it with the video right in front of me with my orange marker showing it, it's fairly complex to understand. So in doing it in audio, it would be almost impossible. But that's why we have the YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.